Have you ever driven through a perfectly manicured suburban neighborhood and felt an eerie chill, a quiet ice whispering that something terrible is hiding just beneath the cicadas and locals alike questioning everything they thought they knew about their safe haven? Beneath the perfectly aligned streetlights and behind the closed doors of those beautiful brick homes, a darkness has taken root. Today, we are peeling back the polished veneer of this Texas suburb to expose a terrifying true story, unsolved mysteries, and dark secrets that have haunted residents for decades. This is the chilling true story of Plano, Texas, and I must warn you, the details we are about to uncover will keep you up at night. To truly understand the horror that would eventually shatter this community, we have to go back to the very beginning. Plano was not always a bustling metropolitan suburb. It started as a quiet, unassuming farming community settled in the mid-1800s by hardworking pioneers looking for a peaceful patch of Texas soil to call their own. For over a century, it remained exactly that, a small agricultural town where everyone knew each other, doors were left unlocked, and the most exciting event of the year was the local Collard Festival. But as the decades rolled on, the relentless expansion of the Dallas metro area crept northward, swallowing up the farmland and transforming the quiet pastures into a sea of identical subdivisions. By the late 20th century, Plano was booming at planet Frantesgirias and pipely to spagnated for Tessin, but that rapid, almost explosive growth came at a cost that blowed as if Claritatum or Dalganus of Terrabi over and vanished into the thick Texas night without a single trace. The neighborhood was sealed off with bright yellow tape, and the flashing red and blue lights of the emergency vehicles cast an unnatural glow over the perfectly manicured lawns, a surreal contrast that burned itself into the retinas of every bystander who had gathered. The night of terror had officially begun, and the realization that a killer was walking among them sent a paralyzing wave of fear through the entire city of Plano. As you listen to these chilling details, I want you to think for a second. Have you ever felt an unexplainable presence or noticed something terribly off about a place that seemed completely normal? Drop a comment below and let me know your eerie experiences. I read every single one. In the harrowing days that followed, the Plano Police Department launched one of the most intensive investigations in the city's history. They brought in K-9 units, state-of-the-art forensics teams, and even consulted with the Texas Rangers, desperate to find the monster responsible for ripping away their community's sense of security. Detectives meticulously combed through every inch of the crime scene, collecting what they believed would be the evidence to crack the case wide open. They bagged DNA samples, lifted latent fingerprints from seemingly untouched surfaces, and interviewed hundreds of residents, hoping someone had seen something, anything that could lead them to a suspect. But as the weeks turned into months, the investigation hit a series of baffling, impenetrable brick walls. The DNA recovered from the scene matched absolutely no one in the system. The fingerprints belonged solely to the victims, and the eyewitness accounts were frustratingly contradictory. Some neighbors reported seeing a tall, shadowy figure lingering near the property earlier that evening, while others swore they saw a dark, unmarked vehicle idling at the end of the cul-de-sac, its headlights off. The police files grew thicker, filled with bizarre leads and dead ends. There were rumors of a bitter, hidden dispute among the town's elite, whispers of a secret life that the victims had been leading far away from the judgmental eyes of their suburban peers, and even theories connecting the crime to those old local legends, suggesting that the dark history of the land itself had somehow manifested into reality. Investigators uncovered never-before-seen footage from a neighbor's security camera showing a strange, unidentifiable figure moving with an unnatural, almost gliding gait down the sidewalk, mere minutes before the horror began. But despite all of this, despite the exhaustive man-hours and the sheer loom of evidence, the case grew colder by the day. The perpetrator had vanished like smoke, leaving behind nothing but a community paralyzed by the terrifying realization that the person responsible for such profound evil could be the person standing right next to them in the grocery store checkout line. The aftermath of that fateful night fundamentally changed Plano forever. The invisible scar it left on the city's psyche was deep and permanent. The aftermath was not just about grieving the loss of life, it was about the agonizing death of trust. People who had lived side by side for years suddenly looked at each other with suspicious, darting eyes. Alarm systems became the #1 selling item in the city. Neighborhood watch groups formed on every single block, and the once bustling community park sat empty as the sun began to set. The legacy of this terrifying true story is a cautionary tale that continues to echo through the streets of Plano today. It serves as a grim reminder that darkness does not discriminate based on zip codes or property values. The unsolved mystery lingers like a heavy fog, an open wound that refuses to heal because the truth is still out there waiting in the shadows. For the residents who lived through that
that summer, the peace of mind they once took for granted is gone forever, replaced by a permanent low-grade anxiety that spikes every time the wind howls a little too loudly or a car backfires in the distance. It remains one of the most chilling chapters in Texas history, a stark, terrifying illustration of how fragile our illusion of safety truly is, and how the most terrifying monster